Welcome everybody to our webinar about probiotics, latest microbiome skincare innovation. My name is Ze'evi. I am Marketing Manager, Life Sciences at HEIQ, and I will be guiding you through this webinar today. We will have 30 minutes of presentations followed by 15 minutes of Q&A. You can ask questions already during the presentations just by using the Q&A button, and we will answer the questions after the presentations. Now, let me introduce our speakers today. First up, we have Dr. Robin Temmerman.
Hello.
Robin is head of Business Unit Life Sciences at HEIQ and CEO of HEIQ Kasai in Belgium. He holds a PhD in microbiology with a focus on probiotics, and as such is ideally placed to answer detailed questions about the microbial world and its applications during the Q&A part of this webinar. Next up, we have our first guest speaker today, Dr. Ze'evi Ma'or.
Hello, everyone.
Ze'evi holds a PhD in biochemistry with a focus on skin aging, and is one of the founders of Ahava. During his 4 decades in the cosmetics industry, Ze'evi developed very innovative skincare products and served Ahava as Vice President for Research and Development, as Chief Technology Officer, and as Life Sciences Innovation Advisor. Next up, we have our second guest speaker today, Takako Kasai.
Hello.
Takako has been with HEIQ Corporation for the past 8 years and has experienced the impact of adding probiotics to their products. She's an expert in branding and marketing, especially for foreign brands in the Japan market, with a focus on advertising, SEO planning, and writing. Now, let me hand over to our first speaker, Robin.
Okay, thank you. Well, hello, everybody. Thanks for participating in our webinar on probiotic skincare and symbiotic skincare. I will do the main introduction on the technology without going into detail. If somebody is interested in getting more details, of course, feel free to contact us afterwards, and you can also already post a question in the Q&A section. First of all, so we're HEIQ, a Swiss company group, which is actually specialized in material innovation. So to improve materials with new technologies to solve issues of all kinds. Specifically myself, I'm CEO of HEIQ Kasai, a Belgian company that joined the HEIQ group in 2021, so a little bit more than 2 years ago. And our core business has always been the development of probiotic and symbiotic cleaning and personal care products. Today's topic is skincare, and we know, I think everybody is aware that the conventional chemical soaps, like hand soap, shower gels, or other skincare products that exist for many, many years already, they have a couple of downsides, of course, and the more that we learn about the skin microbiome, the more we realize that we need new technologies, and we need to improve the products, the skincare products, so that they are much more skin microbiome friendly, because we have learned, we'll see later on, that skin microbiome has become a very important aspect in our health. So what do we offer as a solution? What have we been focusing on? That's Synbiotics. As I said, HEIQ Kasai is a company that has been working already for 30 years on the use of probiotics and symbiotics for cleaning applications and also for personal care. And the overall purpose, the goal is to create a well-balanced microbiome to maintain the health of our skin as much as we can. Skin microbiome, it has been shown in recent studies that it has a very important role. It helps to reduce infections. It may help to compete and to prevent inflammations. It assists in the healthy skin barrier. And it also prevents a lot of skin conditions, or helps to prevent, or at least soothe, to lower the symptoms related to a lot of skin conditions. And it overall interacts with the immune system, which is also linked now. We know the gut-brain axis, but there is also a skin-brain axis. So our whole immune system is a very complex subject, and the skin microbiome plays an important role in it. There's still a lot of research to be done and a lot of things to discover, but that the microbiome of the skin is important, that's for sure. I'm not going to go into detail about the whole skin and the layers and all the parts of it, but anyhow, very important to know is that on our skin we have millions, even trillions of microorganisms of all kinds, bacteria, fungi, viruses, you name it. All of them together, they create the microbiome, and they play a very important role in our general health and skin condition. With our symbiotic ingredients, we want to maintain and to create a healthy skin microbiome without damaging the skin itself, of course, so that we can optimize the health of the skin and all the secondary effects that they may have. So what are symbiotics? First of all, we got, since 2018, we have a patent on the symbiotic formulation. Symbiotic means the combination of probiotics and prebiotics. Probiotics, good bacteria. I think most people know it from the food industry, the food supplements, where we have yogurt drinks and tablets that we can consume to positively influence our gut microbiome. Same concept here. So we use probiotics, good bacteria, to positively influence the skin microbiome. We added prebiotics. Prebiotics are beneficial sugars that can selectively stimulate the growth of good bacteria, including our probiotics. So probiotic and prebiotic together is called symbiotic. Very important, of course, is to have live microorganisms in your formulations, in your cosmetics. We use in our products bacterial spores, so bacillus spores in the formulations, that upon application, when the product is applied, the spores come on the skin. Because of the temperature, the food available, and the humidity, they immediately activate, and then you have live probiotic bacillus strains on your skin. These are again boosted by the prebiotic sugar inulin that we have in the formulations, and also the same prebiotics will also stimulate the development of good microorganisms that you already have on your skin. And this way you will create a diverse positive skin microbiome. The advantages of using spores, bacillus spores, I think it's just like with food industry, it's very important to try and have live and active bacteria, live and active probiotics, to have the maximum effect and benefits that they can offer. Sometimes we see that cell lysates or heat-killed probiotics are used. These may still provide a couple of functional molecules, but of course you lose the dynamics of a live probiotic on the skin. And as such also you lose a couple of benefits, of course. Formulation-wise, using spores is also a good technology to have long shelf life. So we have, for instance, 3-year shelf life, because the spores can withstand high temperatures, variations in pH. Also, the compatibility with other ingredients is important, because quite a lot of cosmetic formulations are quite complex. And of course, none of the chemicals in the formulation should negatively influence the probiotics. So the bacillus spores are very compatible with a lot of ingredients. And because of their dormant state, the spores inside the product just remain a spore until product application, and then once applied, they activate immediately. We have done, I'm not going to go in detail. I want to have our guest speakers as much as possible explaining their experiences. But we have done a lot of testing, of course, and we have seen that the probiotics, when you apply the product, the probiotics activate on the skin in about an hour, and they remain active for about 5 to 6 days. After that, we see after a week or more, then eventually the probiotics go away again. So it is important with any probiotic or symbiotic cosmetic skincare product to use it frequently enough, at least once a week, preferably on a daily basis, of course. We have done microbiology testing, skin microbiome analysis, and there we see, besides the probiotics showing up, that also other beneficial microorganisms are stimulated. So we do positively influence the skin microbiome diversity and composition. To conclude, I think nowadays we see that for cosmetics, there are several trends that focus on sustainability, on the green aspect, on natural, vegan, you name it. Well, very important, of course, to know is that the probiotics and also the prebiotics are 100% natural, so they're natural ingredients. The probiotics, of course, not genetically modified, they're natural organisms originating from soil and water. They're completely biodegradable. Safety level 1, and we also use these same type of probiotics in healthcare studies and products that are used in hospitals for many years. So safety is no problem at all. They also fit with the cosmetic regulations. And they are, which is to a lesser extent, relevant for skincare, but good to know, the probiotics used are also food grade according to the US and European legislation. I think that's a bit from my side, the basics about Synbiotic. So we use probiotic bacteria and prebiotic sugars to create a healthy skin microbiome. We have, of course, finished formulations, but we do also have our technology available for other companies that have their own formulations and want to upgrade and boost it with the Synbiotic component. And as a first example, I want to introduce you to Ze'evi Ma'or, who has always been, who has many years of experience with the company Ahava, who already adopts our Synbiotic technology. Ze'evi, the floor is yours. If you need your next slide, please just tell me next. Thank you.
Thank you, Robin. Thank you very much. I'm very, very excited to be here, and I will try in my short time to share my experience at the company using Synbio. And I think that it's a different way of reviewing all your benefits from the point of the one that was responsible for many years of the new products in Ahava. So next, actually, I started many years ago, and we have together established a new company where I'm one of the people that created Ahava, and we try to analyze what is so special in the minerals from the Dead Sea. And during the 35 years, we were very much focusing on invention. Next slide. And we started from the Dead Sea mud, from the water, from the salts, and in a couple of years, we found amazing activity of these minerals. Next. For example, I still remember when we found the osmoter, which is our main active ingredient, selecting and screening many different combination of minerals. When we found it, I knew it's what we are looking for, which is good for skin. Next. We have continuing in innovation wherever I've been. For example, I try to reach the top of the Himalaya mountains, and I found next that in this area they have very special plants that they are using to treat skin, like Iceland moss, Tibetan goji berry, and Himalaya raspberry. And together with a doctor from the Himalaya, we created the extreme complex, which is have very good success in our Ahava brands. Next, and so on and so forth. We created together with the Hebrew University in Jerusalem the crystal osmoter, making small crystals in the serum by evaporating the water. And this technology, patented technology, is still one of our best sellers. Next. And another one is the Osmoguard, which treats the urban pollution with a special combination with polymers. Next. So last one, we took cell technology to take organ culture of apple of Sodom to achieve a very effective anti-aging product. And next, so all in all, we created many successful products and some tens of patents, global patents. And after this year, next, I can tell you that every R&D manager, and I'm sure you will agree, is all the time looking for the next innovation. And since the new product is already on the shelf, you know that the market will look for the next innovation. Next. And in these days, I went to US, to New York, and I found something very fresh on the shelf. Kores introduced its new promising product, Greek yogurt. I loved very much the idea. And speaking about microbiome rebalance technology was something new in the industry. Next. Later on, I found that Dr. Band also adapted this idea with the biotic balancing complex. And again, next one, and of course, Clinique of Lauder with the lactobacillus probiotic ferment. Next. So this make me understanding that the time for skin microbiome had come. I want to stop here and tell you that in these days, which is, I think, 10 years ago maximum, everyone in the industry, of course, the customers and the marketeers, will ask you to avoid any bacteria on the product, on the skin. Don't tell anyone about microbiome. I want the skin to be sterile, kill them all. Please don't bring bacteria. So it was a very revolutionary to even to speak about skin microbiome. But time had passed and customers had tried to understand. Next. And this take me to real understand that microbiome is very important to skin. Of course, I'm not going to say again what was already told, that it helps to reduce the risk of pathogenic infection and to compete inflammation. And actually, it's one more barrier layer. Today, we are speaking about hypodermis, dermis, and of course, we're adding the fourth layer, the microbiome, that assists preventing sensitivity, irritation, moisture loss, dryness, tightness, redness, breakout, and many other inflammation related skin problems. So the question, how you formulate your product to strengthen the skin microbiome, empower the innate immune capability. This was a question I asked myself as a scientist. Next. So after trying many things in the market, we came to a conclusion that we cannot avoid, if we really want to achieve results, we have to go to live bacteria. Of course, if you want to affect the population on the skin surface, you have to put a big number of live bacteria. Yet, of course, introducing live bacteria is very challenging from stability point of view, from shelf life, and also sometimes from regulatory point of view. Next. So we were very happy to find a Crisal solution, which for me is a real breakthrough. And this patented technology takes the spores. And what I like is that the spores are not participating in the shelf life, and it's only it only become active upon application on skin surface. And the prebiotic inulin helps this bacteria to ensure fast onset on action, which is very important, that the product will be active, but on the other side, the microbiology organism would not be too active during the shelf life of the product. Next. So after understanding the benefits, like understanding that it's not using the lactobacillus, which could be very good bacteria to help the microbiome of the gut, but on the other hand, it's not used to the environmental skin condition like high oxygen, UV radiation, different temperature, of course, different pH. So it's bacillus, different than lactobacillus, different strains, and of course the high number. You cannot put only thousands. You need millions, some maybe half billion to really affect the balance of the population of the microbiomes. And the shelf life is very important. Every formulated knows that you cannot put on shelf a product unless you can promise its shelf life. And that's bacillus already listed. That's very good for me. So continue. So after this, next, and inulin as well. So we looked very deeply to the safety. Since we are vegan, we have received next this vegan approval of Vegan Society. Next slides, please. And so everything is in the highest safety degree. And of course, it's not GMO, which is very important today for us. Next. And after this analysis of all the different probiotic suggestion, we knew that Synbio is the one that we are looking for. Next one. So after 1 year, we have happily launched the pre and probiotic body product line with 3 products. A very nice one. Next. And we, as father of this product, I'm very proud to share with you. First one was the body lotion, and this product brings a lot of benefits, like next slide, maintaining the microbiome stability and balanced, stable skin microbiome. Next, the hand cream again is supercharged with symbiotic complex containing both pre and probiotics together. Next. And the foot cream, its stable skin microbiome reinforces skin barrier against environmental stressor and minimize sensitivities. If you look on these claims, you can see that it's always claims that are according to cosmetic regulation. We are not trying to imitate that we are drugs. It's very important to keep your cosmetic claims. Next. So putting this product on shelf, after a couple of months, we received the first recognition, and Allure, I'm sure you know Allure, had decided that this product is the best body moisturizer for 2022. We were very much encouraged, and last month, next, we received another award, which is a Healing Lifestyle Earth Day Beauty Award, and they already sent us a letter which said that they found this product to be something extra special, and we are very proud of this award. Next. After 3 decades in the company, I left and I decided that actually everyone can use Synbio in its cosmetic product. And I think it's a time of probiotic and microbiome. And therefore, we have built our symbiotic additives team together with good friends, which are excellent and expert in marketing and trade. We've built our team. Next. And our mission is to help you to overcome the challenge of microbiome and to build together the bridge for professional probiotic cosmetics in your brand. And here I stop and thank you, and back to you, Rahel.
Okay, thank you, Ze'evi, for the very nice contribution. Congratulations on the work done. Now I give the word to Takako, who also has a lot of experience in the meantime with the Synbiotics and also created a very nice product line. Takako, just say next when you need another slide.
Okay, thank you. Thank you all for giving us the opportunity to present our marketing activity of probiotic personal care brand, which is called Sizzlers. As was introduced, I engaged in marketing of HEIQ WEBINAR products in Japan from the very beginning. Next slide, please. First of all, let me quickly introduce our history with HEIQ WEBINAR. Initially, we launched cleaning and deodorizing products about 6 years ago. Thanks to the expertise of HEIQ WEBINAR, we have successfully accumulated knowledge and know-how of applying probiotic products in many sites, such as restaurants and hotels. Because we have good results from our B2B market, we have decided to launch personal care products last year. Next slide, please. In this slide, I'll explain another reason why we have launched probiotic personal care. Japanese consumers are very familiar with the concept of probiotics in food products. As you may know, Japan is facing decreasing tendency of population. However, the market of probiotic drink is expanding drastically. I have one interesting example here. Oh, you can see this bottle. So you may have heard of a probiotic drink called Yakult, which is developed in Japan. And this is the original Yakult. It contains 20 billion probiotics in 65 milliliter bottle. And another one, so this is the high grade and new Yakult. It contains 100 billion probiotics in 100 milliliter bottle. So although the high grade Yakult is twice the price of original Yakult, it has been very popular since its launch and still sells out as soon as it hits shelves. But what I'd like to say and what it means is that consumers in Japan prefer products with higher density of probiotics, even if they cost more. Next slide, please. Here is our product lineup. All products contain high density of probiotics. Thanks to HEIQ WEBINAR, we could introduce 2 products which match specific demand from Japanese consumers. One is pet lotion. There is a statistic that 40% of visits to animal hospital in Japan is due to skin problems. Another is bath essence. As you may know, most Japanese people take a bath every day. So bath essence is a huge market. It is really a great product. In fact, I personally use it, and it keeps skin moisturized whole day. Next slide, please. Here are some feedbacks from customers. People of all skin types and ages can benefit from probiotic personal care. It is sustainable and maintains skin healthy. Next slide, please. So in the next few slides, I would like to explain about the promotion of pet lotion. Pet lotion is a new concept in Japan. So compared to other cosmetic products, the competition is relatively low. Therefore, we have decided to focus our marketing resources on the pet lotion. So initially, we have distributed samples to leading veterinarians across Japan. Pet lotion is very easy to apply. So just put it on your hand and gently rubbing a dog, like massaging. It can be safely used every day. Because the veterinarians are satisfied with and confident with the results and the effectiveness of pet lotion, they are recommending it to all types of dogs. Furthermore, they are now using varieties of probiotic products for personal use. Next slide, please. So now we are currently working on affiliate marketing for our EC site. I explain how it works briefly. So we pick up and contact the influencers of Instagram, whose followers match with the persona of our target consumers. Then we distribute pet lotion to influencers for free. They post positive comments and pictures of the product. Followers look at the post and ideally click the link, which leads to our landing page at the bottom. So there are two advantages of affiliate marketing. Firstly, it is very cost-effective and low risk. This is because we pay agreed margin to affiliates only when their followers actually purchase our products. Another advantage is that affiliate marketing especially fits the characteristics of Japanese market. Japanese consumers utilize many sources of information because before making purchasing decisions, they have a strong desire to know what other people think of the products rather than what the brand says about them. Next slide, please. Thank you. In the next two slides, I present the actual creative images of landing page. Landing page is a web page designed to persuade consumers to take a specific action. In this case, it is a purchase decision, which leads to our EC site. Key visual presents solutions to skin issues, such as dry skin. Customer testimonials in the middle are very strong content because it is the evaluations by the other people, like target consumers themselves. The limited discount of the first purchase is an important final push to purchasing. Next slide, please. As you can see, the landing page covers a wide range of contents to answer all the questions that the target consumers may have during their buying journey. Since probiotic personal care is a new concept, we have also created illustrations to demonstrate the ideas. Next slide, please. Last but not least, the purpose of Scissor's official Instagram is to build up brand image and create fans. We post brand image pictures as well as tips and information that may be useful to users. For example, on the left, we present the idea the bath essence can be used as a face pack by soaking a mask sheet in it and applying to a face. Okay, that is all from me. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much, speakers. Everybody turn their camera and mic on. Now we get to the Q&A part. of this webinar. We already have 4 questions that were asked during the presentations. To everybody else who still wants to ask questions but hasn't yet, now's your chance. Please use the Q&A function to ask your questions. Now, let me already go through the first questions. First questions. Probably this one should go to Robin. How can we be sure that the prebiotic sugars are not stimulating bad bacteria?
Well, of course, that's research that has been done. So we have based ourselves, when we started the development of the symbiotic technology, we looked at the experience we had for many years in food industry, where, of course, a lot of prebiotic molecules are known. They're also very well documented in terms of the type of microorganisms they can stimulate. And based on that, we selected a couple of prebiotics and eventually ended up with inulin as the prebiotic that is known to stimulate most beneficial bacteria. We then did, of course, because skin microbiome is not the same as your gut microbiome. We have done in collaboration with Ghent University also microbiome studies analyzing by means of DNA sequencing following the skin microbiome developments, and there we saw that the inulin stimulated most of the beneficial microorganisms, not all of them. Inulin can also not stimulate all good microorganisms, but at least it was shown that there was no pathogens or negative microorganisms stimulated by inulin. Towards the future, we will develop more prebiotics. So inulin was the first choice based on the data that we have. But we are looking in the future to develop more types of prebiotics when we have enough data to make sure that indeed they stimulate the good guys and not the bad guys.
Okay, thank you very much. I think the next question should go to Ze'evi. It's a very development-focused question. Did you ever try to measure the aging? Okay. Did you ever try to or I don't know, hay fever?
I'll take it.
Okay.
I think Daniel, excellent
Sorry, did
question.
you ever try to measure the aging or health effectiveness of ingredients and ingredient formulations? No. Okay.
Thanks for this question. I think in a couple of weeks we are going to publish in the Journal of Cosmetic Science and Application our research. We have done deep understanding in a controlled test, trying to see what is the deep biological effect of Synbio on skin, and very proud and even surprised to see how deep it affects in a different level from, of course, the microbiome, skin surface effect, but also the biology in skin biology like transcriptome level, and even in clinical test of acne to see how strong this ingredient can be. So I'm very happy to tell you that in a few weeks, during June, this work would be published in a very respected professional journal.
Okay. I could only read parts of the question because of my coughing. I'm sorry. Did you ever measure the aging scientifically with a skin clock using epigenetics? Was the full question.
Yeah. This work is on the epigenetic, measuring the transcriptome. I'm not going to give too many details, but of course you will be receive one of the journal during June. It's going to be published, and it would be everyone would be able to find it. We should send it happily.
Okay, thank you very much. And the next question, I think all of you could answer this one. With trillions of particles in the microbiome, how can we know that it is balanced or not balanced? How do you tell?
Well, I think Very important to know, of course, is that just like with the gut microbiome, every individual has its own skin microbiome. So the composition, the microbial composition of my skin microbiome will be very different to somebody else's. And of course, there are a couple of microbiological groups that we know are beneficial and that we want to stimulate. So in the microbiome analysis, you can focus on these groups and see over time, of course, to keep them as stable as possible, right? Because I think regardless of the composition of your skin microbiome, the stability of it is very important. You want to avoid fluctuations, which we try to do with the symbiotic technology to provide a protective layer to avoid or to prevent as much as possible strong fluctuations in the microbiome composition, because, for instance, when you have suddenly pH or salinity changes or UV radiation when you're walking in the sun. So you can measure it, but the actual composition is less important than the diversity and the stability. And that's very important.
And you can probably tell if it's unbalanced when you get skin problems. Yes.
That's a fact. If you don't have any skin issues, then there's nothing wrong with your skin microbiome. And if you have a good one, normally on average, people have a good, a healthy skin microbiome, and we just want to try to keep it that way.
Yeah. Just one of the remarks is more of a remark than a question. Is like, use probiotics for your hay fever. Thank you very much. I don't think we have a product yet that goes for.
That's another application.
Unfortunately, I would immediately use it. Okay. Another question. Why is it important that the probiotics are live probiotics? What's so important about that?
Yeah, well, I think it's I think it's clear. We know that probiotics, they produce all kinds of functional molecules that exert benefits, certain effects. A live probiotic can adapt to changing environments, same thing, like temperature, pH, salinity, you name it. They can adapt and they can react and respond accordingly. If you only use heat-killed or cell extracts or specific molecules, you only have one specific benefit that you target. Whereas when you use the probiotics alive, you can have many more benefits at once.
Okay, next question. Are your probiotic microbes only competing with negative microbes by filling the niche, or also by killing them, for example, by excreting things?
I would like to answer Technic's question and also a sub-question. We have to understand today in the microbiome concept, we are not speaking about good and bad guys. The question is balance. Wherever you test on skin, you'll find different types, and what is not good if one specific type is taking the control, like for example, Staph aureus, and 70% of it becomes 70% of the microbiome in atopic dermatitis, and in acne you have different bacteria that growing very much, and so on and so forth. So the idea is to keep it balanced, not to kill the bad, but we are not going to kill anyone. We don't want to kill any natural bacteria. We want to give the skin a real solution or a real powerful tool to keep the skin balance in its microbiome population, or microflora, what we used to call microflora population. So in this way, this is our purpose. So only live bacteria, and only from non-pathogenic ones, like different strands of bacillus that are not known for. They are known for many years for not having any pathogenic reports in the literature. This is why we use this bacillus and different, like 4 different types that can balance and avoid Staph aureus or other pathogenic bacteria to become too strong. We are not killing them, but we keep them in the right percentage that they are not harmful.
Okay, thank you very much. And the next question, how many strains of bacteria are usually used on cosmetic products? Is it really necessary for the skin to get an external prebiotic? Thank you.
I think, well, that's a bit of a historical story to tell. We once started with our first formulations only had one bacillus strain, the spores, but then we saw, okay, that the idea, the first concept to avoid destroying the microbiome and killing microorganisms that you would do like with hand sanitizers. We wanted to avoid that by adding good bacteria. But we also quickly saw that when we use only one strain, that the diversity is not high enough. So now currently we have 5 different strains, but even the 5 different strains still do not create a diversity in your microbiome. That's why it's very important to also add the prebiotics on top of the probiotics. The probiotics, they create your first good layer, but then you need the prebiotics to stimulate as much beneficial microorganisms that are already on the skin. And we have seen in the microbiome studies by sequencing that we really have a large impact on many beneficial groups of microorganisms when we add the prebiotic compared to only the probiotic component. So we have 5 different strains as probiotics, but we do need the prebiotic as an external prebiotic to create a high diversity in the existing microbiome.
Okay, thank you very much. A question to Japan. How did this veterinary doctor that you had quotes of, how did he discover the pet lotion? I would not have expected a doctor to go for a lotion in his own clinic.
Actually, we have connections with these veterinarians because we already sold some probiotic products like cleaning and deodorizing products. So we have already a connection. So they have some confidence from the detergent products and deodorizing products.
Okay, and
that
your
answers
Dr.
the question.
Hashimoto is not just any veterinarian, isn't he? He's like a head of an association of veterinarians.
Yeah, he's well-known veterinarians. So once these famous veterinarians start using the pet lotion, they have a kind of connection between the veterinarians in industry. So he's kind of a opinion leader in the industry. That's why we could kind of expand the sales by using his comments and the recommendations.
Thank you very much. And we're ending our webinar soon. We're a bit over time already. Just one last question from the pool. Every other question will be answered by email. So guys, don't worry, we will answer your questions. So there's one last question. Thank you very much for all the presentations. Did you conduct any clinical studies to show health benefits, like better and faster healing of skin injuries?
Yeah, we have very good clinical work on acne, which is one of the more affected skin disorders from bacteria. So we've done research and analyzed many parameters of acne, and using 1% of Synbio in the product had really reduced most of the acne clinical parameters in a way that the skin status was improved dramatically. We have some first reports about atopic dermatitis, but every specific disease should be analyzed in a specific formula. Of course, it's not only the Synbio, but you have to formulate it. So we have very good feeling that Synbio could be very effective to heal all the skin diseases that bacteria are involved in.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, we have reached the end of the webinar. As I said, all the questions that were not answered here we will get back to you by email. Thank you very much. Thank you to our speakers for your presentations today. It was very interesting, very lively. And if anybody wants the presentations you saw in this webinar, write me an email. I will send you the slides. Also, this webinar is recorded. All of you will get a recording link, so you can also share it with your colleagues. Okay, thank you very much, and see you maybe next time. HEIQ regularly holds webinars about material innovation topics.
Okay. Thank
Thank
you.
you, guys.
Have a nice day, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.